to-dos. I also like to keep my money on the outside in one of those little pouches that on the other side is got the pouch at the bottom, the little slip cover at the bottom and at the top. So, look up here as you're doing it. On the outside of my pouch, I have money and time. On the inside, I have my addresses and names. I've got my journal, and I've got my long-term planning for my 90 days in advance. There I am controlled and in organization from that very moment. I can do it all in one little thing. I can stick in my pocket or purse, and I'm in control. Okay? Now, some of you have other kinds of systems that you use, and they're a little bulkier, that's true. I'm going to ask at the very least, everyone here in this room, at the very, very least, every one of you should be taking your money, your cash flow tracker here, your organizer. You should carry that with you everywhere you go for at least the next 30 days and fill it out every single time you spend money. The other organizer here, if this can be useful to you, you can shift to this one, or you can give that to somebody as a gift. It's a very powerful gift to give somebody for Christmas or something like that. There you've got yourself organized in one simple place. Everything you need. Time, money, people, it's all there. Okay? We didn't finish completely with our scoring system though, did we? Our daily scoring system. Let's just finish that up. We talked about the power hour. We give us 3 points. We talked about others. That gives us 2 points. The next one down the line is work FTF. That gives us 2 points. What does FTF stand for?
I'm waiting for you to tell me.
FTF stands for feared thing first. Okay? Not first things first. Feared thing first. I'll tell you why. Most of the time, the first things are always the feared things. And one of the reasons we don't like to do our first things first is because we don't like to fail. Because most of us are perfectionists. How many of you are perfectionists in this room? I see you raise your hands on that. You're perfectionists. You're going to wait until it's right? So you'd rather have 100% failure because you never do it than to have 50% failure because you just get started. The reason that we don't do our most important tasks is because we don't want to fail at the most important things in our life. And yet the only thing you can really do is to stumble into it and get started immediately. You got to do it. And most of the time our fear is we are not going to be judged well by our peers. We're afraid. That's why we're perfectionists. That's why we want to do it perfect, because we're afraid of what they think. Now I'm going to ask you to take the feared thing first, the thing that scares you the most as you go down your to-do list. And I'm going to ask you to put it at the very top of your list and do it first. Now there's several reasons for that. First reason is because it'll probably be one of the most important tasks. Number two, it'll do wonders for your self-esteem. Let me teach you the secret to all self-esteem right now. If you run from what you fear, your self-esteem automatically goes down. If you face what you fear, your self-esteem automatically goes up. This is a true statement. You try it with your kids. If your kids run from what they're afraid of, you are literally training them to have low self-esteem. Well, when kids start into school these days, they have high self-esteem. 80% of the kids that enter grade 1 today have high self-esteem. By the 5th grade, it's down to 20%. By the 12th grade, 5% of graduating seniors have high self-esteem. And the reason they do is a lot of reasons. It's not because the school system is bad. It's because life is a pretty tough place to learn in. It's pretty rough. And what you need to be doing is taking the things that are most fearful to you and doing them first. If you do, well, let's look what happens. You start your day off and you say, what's the thing that scares me the most today? I'm going to go ask for a raise. I've been waiting to do for this for months. I deserve it. I'm ready for it. I'm going to go get a raise. You march right in there at 8:30 in the morning. You say, boss, I got to have a raise. He fires you and throws you out the door. At least you have all the rest of the day to look for a new job. But what happens if they say, well, we've just been waiting for you to ask. So how much do you want? Okay, here's 7%, and you walk out of there and it's 8:30 in the morning. What happens to the rest of your day? Wow. You're feeling awesome. You're saying, oh, this is great. It makes the rest of your day worth it. Now, if you take something you're afraid of doing and tackle it first, the rest of the day, by comparison, looks easy. However, if you take the easy things and put them first and wait till the end of the day to do the things you're afraid of, by comparison, the rest of your day looks very difficult. Because in the back of your mind, you're saying to yourself, I still got to go ask the boss for a raise. I'll wait till 4:30. So you're going through your to-do list. You're crossing things off all right and left. You're trying to be real happy about this. When you get to the end of the day, in the back of your mind, there's been this nagging voice saying, oh, you're going to ask him for a raise. It ruins the whole day. Does that make sense? Therefore, do your feared thing first. I'm going to challenge you to do that first for the next 30 days. I'll make you a promise. You do your feared thing first. At the end of 30 days, you're going to feel like you can do anything. I'll tell you why. When you walk in the room, you're asking yourself the question, give me your best shot. What's my feared thing first in here? What's the thing that bothers me the most? Come on, give me your best shot. I can handle it. Right? Because if you train your mind to think that way, you're not afraid of anything. However, if you train your mind to think, oh no, I don't want to do that. If you're always backing away from things, and when you walk in the room, you're looking for things. Oh, I don't want to do that. You're automatically not prepared for life. Okay? So the feared thing first is, what do I got to do first today? What's my toughest thing to do? And you give yourself 2 points as soon as you've done that. You reward yourself like a rat. Okay? That's the way they train. That's the way you need to train yourself. You need to reward yourself every time you do something good. Isn't that the way they train Shamu over here in SeaWorld? How do they train Shamu to jump out of the water like that? They put the bar underneath the water, or on the floor, and whenever he swims over the bar, they give him a fish. They raise the bar up. If he swims under the bar, they don't give him any fish. He swims over the bar, they give him fish. They raise it up to the level of the water. If he just swims around there, he starves to death. He just rolls over the top of the bar. They give him all the fish he wants. Pretty soon he gets to associate fish with this bar. They raise it a foot above the water. He stays down there. He doesn't, no fish, just jumps over. Lots of fish. I think I'm smart enough to figure this out. I jump over this thing. You give me all the fish I want. Is that right? Good. Raise the bar. I don't care. That's how they get him to jump 20 feet out of the water like that. They train him. You got to train yourself. When you do something that's hard to do, you give yourself some points. You send a letter to somebody you love, you give yourself some points. When you do your power hour, you give yourself some points. And you will automatically train yourself to be an awesome human being. Okay? So here's our system. It's all planned together for you. How many of you think that if you did that system for 30 days that your life would be much more in control? Let me see you raise your hands on that. Your job and your challenge is to do that. And start with simple things. Like when we go to lunch here in another few minutes, you're going to take that planner with you. You go through what we call the Millionaire Minute. So let's just cover that really quickly. Fill in some blanks before we're done. Since time is money, that's secret number 3. J. Paul Getty says, buy my shots in the fall. So the further ahead you blank, the blank you will be when you get there. The further ahead you plan, the richer you will be when you get there. Money mentalities. Plan your blanks and procrastinate your blanks. Plan your 20s and procrastinate your 80s, or if you want to say it another way, plan your needs and procrastinate your wants. So let's just cover this thing about wants here for a minute. Most of you don't, well, let's put it this way. You want things because you can't afford them right now. You say, well, if I had the money, then I would go out and buy them. Your wants are unlimited. Did you get that? As soon as your level of income increases to the point where you become aware that you can buy it, your wants are unlimited. There is no way for you to outpace your wants. As soon as you make $100,000 a month, you're going to want a Learjet. As soon as you make $1 million a month, you're going to want to, going to want to own, a bigger jet. Yeah. 'Cause in other words, right now your income dictates your wants. But as soon as your income goes up, your wants go up exponentially. What I'm trying to teach you to think of is that if you want to be secure, it's about all you really can hope for. If you want to be secure, you have to have a lifestyle that requires saving, that requires frugality, that requires the real fundamental basics, and that you can really enjoy the trips and the travel and all those kinds of things. You can have all of that, but you got to have a lifestyle that supports that. And let's just take all the things that most people have. They're really going in a huge debt for them, and they're going to really destroy their wealth to get them. So I know I had to get that off my chest, you know. If you look at people who are really wealthy, they are very careful with their money. They are not conspicuously consuming at all. So when I say plan your needs and procrastinate your wants, I'm trying to say your wants are never going to end. All right, 7 minutes to $1,000,000 a minute. Shop for value. It doesn't have to be a bargain. Some bargains are worthless. You shop for value. Buy wholesale. Always get a discount. That's right. And another word to put in there is always get a receipt. Always get a receipt. Don't buy anything from a yogurt to a pen without getting a receipt for it. I want you in the habit of getting a receipt. I want you to stand there and wait for it. I want all the people in the line to think you're crazy, because you are. But you're the right kind of crazy. They're the ones that are the wrong kind of crazy. You know, so, blank your receipt. Categorize your receipt. Blank your cash flow. Track your cash flow. Blank your leaks. Track your leaks. In other words, you've got to flip it on the backside and blank your receipt. File your receipt. That's what the Millionaire Minute consists of. I look for value. I try to get a discount. I'm trying to buy wholesale. I get my receipt. I categorize my receipt. I'm going to track my cash flow. I'm going to balance my leaks. And I'm going to take that receipt and put it away. And if you'll do that, it takes you about a minute, sometimes 2 minutes per transaction every day. You're up to speed. You need a system for tracking your time and money, and that's what I've given you. I've given you a money tracker, a daily organizer, a 90-day planner, a phone book, and a journal. It's all found in that one little power planner that I had up here just a minute ago. Here it is right here. There it is right there. Your wealth system contains your vital documents files, your owns and loans files, things you own, things you will own, your faucets and leaks. So your money rules are, I extend my blank blank each day. I extend my network planning horizon every day. Every day I got to extend my planning horizon. Rule number 2, I practice the Millionaire Minute. And number 3, I cut my living expenses by... Well, let's do that now here. You notice I don't carry too many credit cards, but I do carry my old platinum card here. It's the only one I carry. Why? I have to pay this thing off every month. No matter how much I spend every month, they get a bill from that, and they want that money. They let me know when I'm late. I have to pay this off every month. It forces me to pay it off every month. Now, I've done a lot of research on credit cards. It's really simple. If you want to cut your living expenses by 30% instantly, take all your credit cards out of your wallet and purse and cut them up and throw them away, except for one, which I'll be showing you how to use here in a few minutes. Cut them up, because when you don't have your credit card, what happens? Your spending drops automatically. If you would take and cut your credit cards up, your living expenses automatically, with no effort, automatically will drop 30% in the next 12 months. Try it. If you've got access to the credit card cash, you're going to spend it. If you don't have access to it, you can't find it, you automatically stop the spending you would have normally spent on without any effort whatsoever. Does that make sense to you? That's a hard thing to do. See? You need a credit card for identification and all those other kind of reasons and excuses that you always give me. Credit cards are death. Death to financial freedom. Take your credit cards and save one of them for emergencies and for any of other Robert Allen seminars that I'm going to ask you to buy on Tuesday afternoon. But other than that, you take that credit card and you cut it up. Does that make sense? Okay? I know that's a tough one, but that'll automatically, you try me, automatically and instantly will cut your living expenses by 20-30%. It'll take you about 3 seconds to do that. So the last one here, finally, is I cut my living expenses by plastic surgery. All right? Okay, give me a couple more ahas, please. Yes, right over here, sir.
20% of your time makes 8% of your money.
20% of your time makes you 80% of your money. That's exactly right. Another way to put it. Good. Give me another one. Right here.
Wants are unlimited and they grow with your pocketbook.
Wants are unlimited and they mushroom like, absolutely. Yeah, they go out of control. Yes, over here.
The first 10% of charities.
Yeah, 10%. 10% to charity, 10% to savings. A lot of you are you're very generous with your charities. You'll send them $50 or things like that. I'm talking for you to multiply your charities much, much more than that, and assume that the universe will pay you back. And I personally believe that the universe will. Isn't that what the Bible says? Bring foods into the storehouse and see, and he says, prove me now herewith to see whether or not I will open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing so there's not enough for you to receive it. The point is, just say, challenge him. Okay, good. I'm going to be good. I'm going to pay my share. You take care of me. Back here.
Fail to plan, you plan to fail.
That's right. Absolutely. Fail to plan, you plan to fail. Go over here, ma'am. You have two ahas.
No, nature abhors the vacuum.
Nature abhors a vacuum, which means?
They'll fill it up.
Yeah, okay, good. Give me another one. Another aha. There.
I really like the Rockefeller rules and how you can instill with your kids like right away.
Rockefeller rules, absolutely. Anything else? Yes, Ben here?
Do feared things first.
Do those feared things first. All right, there are lots of things we're learning here. We're building a mindset, and hopefully by the end of today, what we're going to do is just shift your awareness about a lot of things that you're already doing, but without a context to it. You're doing kind of a little thing here, a little bit over there, a little bit over there, but if they're all put together in a system, it really makes a massive difference. How many of you ever driven off a car lot in a brand new car, or even a used car, a new car to you, and you drove off that lot and you start to see that same car everywhere you look, same color, everything? How many of you ever had that happen to you? That's what we call awareness. I'm going to raise your awareness about lots of things, about the monies that you waste are really valuable. We're going to talk about credit cards, all these things that will raise your awareness so that when you see the world of money, you'll see it in a different way. In fact, when we go into investments, you're going to start to notice those little ticker tape things across the bottom of CNN, and you're going to watch your stocks from now on. There's a lot of things going on in your money life that haven't been aware enough for you yet. Now, in our morning segment, we talked about these things. So let's fill in the blanks, because I have some perfectionists out there of just having cows because they haven't been able to fill the blanks in yet on their forms. So let's fill in the blanks, shall we? As Nancy Walker said, who is now dead, she said, money might not mean much to you, pal, but to me it ranks right up there with oxygen. At this point, she doesn't need oxygen either. But money is important. Each dollar bill is a blank blank with enormous money, with enormous potential. Each dollar bill is a money seed with enormous potential. A few money seeds planted blank can grow into a huge money tree. Consistently. A few money seeds planted consistently. And that's the secret. You got to do it every single month. Never miss a month. Can grow into a huge money tree. You can go rich on the money that you are now wasting. You don't have to make any more. You just have to waste a few less. A penny saved is blank blank earned. Well, a penny saved, if you just save the penny, well then a penny saved is a penny earned. But a penny invested is 10,000 pennies earned. Because if I'll invest that money, it grows into an awful lot. The cost of blank is extremely high. Start now. Cost of procrastination is extremely high. Start now. You can't make blank decisions today and expect to be blank tomorrow. You can't make poor decisions today and expect to be rich tomorrow. Every day gives you a chance to test your money rules. For instance, suppose, how many of you ever gotten a parking ticket before? Let me see you raise hands on that. You get the parking ticket, and what do you do with it? You're just so ticked off about it, you just could scream. You stick it in a little slot in the side of your car. You're just going to show them, aren't you? You're just going to show them they can't give you a ticket like that. It matures in there for a while, and pretty soon, how many days does it go by before it doubles? It's 30 days. You ever had a parking ticket double on you? How many of you had that happen? Okay, good. You procrastinated it and it doubled on you. When that happened, you really made a decision that you wanted to be poor in the future. Because your future is going to arrive. You know, you probably said, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just let this sit until I do my registration next year. And I'll just let it sit there. They're going to go get all my registration. Then I go and I'll pay a check for my registration. I'll pay all my bills and all my tickets will all be paid off. They'll all be paid off at 200% and 300%. Although, but you don't have the money today, do you? That's why, oh darn it, I can't afford that $30 ticket today. Can you afford the $90 ticket tomorrow? So you can't make poor decisions today and expect to be rich tomorrow. You have to make rich decisions today, even if it means coming up with money you don't have, because in the future you won't have it either. In fact, you'll have a whole heck of a lot less of it if you wait until tomorrow to pay it. So that's what you take your discounts today, you make your rich decisions today. When it comes to the rules at the bottom here, I spend my money blank. Wisely, good. I never pay retail, and I save at least blank percent of all I earn. 10% of all I earn. Now let's talk about savings for a minute. Savings. We talked about savings here this morning a little bit. Let's just finish that discussion. Whenever you save money, and you should constantly be looking for saving money, you have to save it. A friend of mine quit smoking here a few months ago, and she says, I saved $50 last month. And I said, where is it? I don't know, maybe it's in my donut budget. Where did it go? Give me the $50. I don't know, I don't have it. She saved it. I mean, she stopped smoking, therefore there was $50 supposedly left in her life. Where is it? She hadn't saved it. She had saved it. But it doesn't do any good just to save it. You have to double save it. You have to take it out of your life. You have to stick it somewhere so that it's gone. So if you go to a gas station, for instance, and you're trying to save money on gas, that $2 that you save, you should take and put it in an extra little spot in your wallet or purse and get it out of your budget. Get it out. When you get home, download that money, take it out of the spot, and put it in your savings slot and send it to the bank and get rid of it. Because you will always spend as much money as you have. You'll just spend up to it. So you should get all this excess cash out of your life as much as possible. And if you saved money on a movie theater ticket, you know, because you went on Tuesday instead of going on Saturday night, and you saved that $3, well, don't just pay the $3 or for your ticket. Take that extra money you would have saved, stick it in another pocket somewhere, and you get home, get it in the jar that you let build up in there, because you won't notice the difference. I mean, your budget will still be the same. Your life will probably still go on the same without you even noticing it. Is you'll have this extra $200 or $300 or $400 a month that starts to kind of build up over time, and pretty soon it gives you that chance to put money in, you know, stocks and bonds and mutual funds and things of that nature. All right, so that's what I call saving, and it's really critical. And so we've talked about 4 skills up to this point. Well, actually, we've talked about 3 skills. Now we're going to go into the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th skills. First skill we talked about was valuing it. How many of you are valuing those dollar bills more today than you did yesterday? Let me see, raise your hands on that. How many of you actually filled out your little money tracker there when you got your, okay, good. And most of you wrote down that this was a business expense. Hopefully it was a business lunch. You got to write that off. How many of you let somebody else pick up the lunch for you today? Ah, now those are the smart ones. That's right. We try to avoid writing in our little booklets at all. If someone else will pick up the lunch for you, then that's a real deduction that you want, all right? That's why whenever I go to lunch, I try to not take my wallet with me.